Hi, my name is Kyle Clower, and I'm with Serve Wisconsin. We are the Wisconsin National and Community Service Board, and we work with AmeriCorps programs throughout the state. And right now, we're talking with different AmeriCorps members about their service this year and how it's impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And today, we're talking with Bobby. So, Bobby, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Bobby, thanks so much for being with us. Could you tell us a little bit about the program that you're serving with this year and what your service looked like before COVID-19?
So I am serving with the Marshfield Clinic Health System's Volunteer Wisconsin program, and I'm serving the Barron area school district, primarily at the high school. And before the pandemic started, my primary service was working with student organizations, getting students involved in volunteerism, and helping explain how volunteerism isn't necessarily just doing good deeds and how it can benefit the individual as well as kind of boost your resume, as some companies and colleges are looking for that kind of person to bring into their organization or school.
So what would be some of the types of organizations you would have worked with the students?
I've worked with FCCLA, FFA, National Honor Society, and another one that's pretty cool here is that they have a thing called PAL, Positive Attitudes for Life, trying to be role models and all that kind of stuff, and also trying to bring in community members as well to kind of help demonstrate what things look like beyond high school years.
That's awesome. So I'm assuming there had to be a pretty big change to your service then once COVID-19 started spreading with the shutdown of the schools in March. So what did your service look like these last few months?
It was definitely unique. Obviously, serving in a school, it was uncharted territory for everyone. Part of my responsibilities in serving that I was designated was first and foremost was trying to connect with students in whatever way I could, because the students were going from so much personal interaction with their friends and staff members to almost no interaction whatsoever. So trying to keep a healthy communication line between students and the school. And then also I was able to help serve with our food security program. So every Wednesday we had meal bags prepared and it was amazing. The food department did incredible. We had 5 lunches and 5 breakfasts for each kid, all prepackaged for families to come get, or we could go and deliver to them as well to make sure that students are actually getting fed for those that may be a little bit more financially unstable during that time.
That's great. So you would help with the packet distribution of them?
Yep. And also it was kind of nice because then I could also have semi-face-to-face interaction with whether it was a parent or students that came in and actually being able to check in with the families to see how they're doing as well, to see if there's additional services that we could provide.
When you were trying to keep the kids connected to the schools, what type of things would you be doing with them?
It's always interesting serving in a high school, being there's so many different personalities and types of people and teens. So we tried via Zoom, phone call, email, pretty much any communication outlet that we could. We tried to reach out to them and pretty much left it up to the students how much communication they desired. Because obviously if students kind of seemed uninterested, we're not going to force communications and all that kind of stuff. So just try to have that additional outlet for students to have.
And then Bobby, why did you decide to serve with AmeriCorps initially? And then was there anything that brought you to Volunteer Wisconsin or serving with the Barron School District?
I kind of came to a point in my life with my education where I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go. I have a degree in psychology, which you can't really do a whole lot with. And I had contemplated whether or not I wanted to get involved with a school or in the education system. And luckily, I actually have a family friend that works for the Barron School Districts, and she actually presented this opportunity, and it was just a perfect bridge moment for going from education into hopefully a career at some point, and actually being able to get experience in a general field that I was interested in.
Nice. Is this your first or is this your second year with Volunteer Wisconsin?
This is actually my second year.
So what made you decide to come back for the second year?
Honestly, it was all because of the connections that I've made with those that I was serving alongside of, the students, staff, community members. It just kind of became like a fun little family, and I didn't want to leave it yet, so decided to go back for another round.
That's great. And then, so looking at that idea of those connections you made, are there any like fun stories or fun memories you're really going to take with you from your AmeriCorps service?
Honestly, like working with the teenage group, there's always some sort of little story or anything like that. But one really cool program that I was able to be a part of is our 7th grade class. Every year they get to do what's called winter survival. So they actually go through a bunch of units as to how to survive in the wilderness in the winter. And then we actually go up to a camp and they would create their snow forts and snow shelters leading up to them staying the night in those snow shelters that's built out of snow and tarps. So that was really, really fun to be a part of and watch the kids just go all out.
That sounds incredible. How many 7th graders are you talking about would be up there?
I think we had 85 7th graders, and then I believe 65 or 70 decided to stay the night. Definitely a unique thing that I've never heard anybody else do.
And then Bobby, what are you planning to do once your AmeriCorps service is over at the end of this summer?
So after this, I am planning on continuing my education to get my master's degree in school counseling, just because my terms of service here at the high school, I've just fallen in love with the students and the type of service and work that is done within the educational system.
So that's great that your AmeriCorps service helped you kind of find that passion and find that desire to do that next.
Yeah, it really was a great opportunity. It really was.
Bobby, thank you so much for your service these last 2 years with the Barron School District with Volunteer Wisconsin. And then thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Of course, it was my pleasure.